noticed that the women people underestimate the most are often the ones who know exactly who they are? That's Elle Woods. Most people think Legally Blonde is about proving everyone wrong, but I think that's the least interesting part of the story because Elle didn't become successful when people finally believed in her. She became successful because she believed in herself long before they did. Isn't that how society works? People love making assumptions based on appearances. But here's what Elle understood that so many people don't. Other people's opinions are information, not truth. She never allowed their perception to become her identity. Yes, she cried. Yes, she felt discouraged. But she never woke up one day and decided, maybe they're right about me. She simply kept showing up. Never feeling hurt, but never letting hurt redefine you. Almost nobody talks about. Elle's self care wasn't vanity, it was self respect. Her hair was always done, her nails were maintained, her clothes were intentional. She invested in herself every single day. Some people see beauty routines as superficial, but I see discipline because when you consistently care for yourself, you're telling yourself something incredibly important. I'm worth the effort. That energy changes the way you walk in the room, not because your lipstick is perfect, but because you've built a habit of valuing yourself before asking anybody else to. One of the biggest lies women are told is that if you want to be taken seriously, you have to sacrifice your femininity. Dress differently, speak differently, act tougher, be less girly. Elle rejected that lie completely. She never traded pink for power suits. She never pretended to dislike fashion. She never apologized for loving beauty. And somehow, she became one of the smartest people in the room, not despite her femininity, while embracing it. Your femininity is not an obstacle to success. The right people will never require you to abandon yourself to earn respect. But here's my favorite lesson from Elle. She never let other people's behavior determine her own character. People laughed at her, belittled her, dismissed her, talked down to her. She could have become bitter. Instead, she stayed kind. Kindness isn't a weakness, it's emotional maturity. Anybody can become cold after being hurt, but it takes real strength to remain gracious without becoming naive. I'll never confuse kindness with people pleasing. She helped others because that reflected her values, not because she needed their approval. And that distinction every woman should understand. There's something I don't think enough people appreciate. Emmett. I think Warner was simply the lesson. Emmett was the reward. From the very first moment they meet, Emmett notices that Elle is overwhelmed and offers to help. He isn't trying to impress her. He isn't playing games. He simply sees someone who could use support, and he steps in. That's quiet masculinity. Not loud promises, not grand speeches, just consistent actions. And notice something else. Elle wasn't chasing him. She wasn't trying to convince him to choose her. She wasn't performing for his attention. She was busy building her own future. Ironically, that's exactly when she attracted somebody who genuinely appreciated her. The healthiest relationships often happen when two people meet as complete individuals, not when one person is desperately trying to earn the other's. Finally, let's talk about integrity, because this is what separates Elle from so many other characters. She had opportunities to take shortcuts, to compromise her values, to seek revenge, to become the kind of person everybody expected her to become. She didn't. She chose honesty when dishonesty would have been easier. She chose principle over popularity. That's integrity. Doing the right thing even when nobody would know if you didn't. And I don't think that's possible without faith. Faith that your character matters. Faith that your efforts aren't wasted. Faith that what's meant for you won't require you to betray yourself to receive it. Elle didn't lose because she stayed true to herself. She won because she did. Maybe that's why Legally Blonde has remained so iconic. Not because Elle Woods became someone new, but because she refused to. She reminds us that you can be intelligent without becoming intimidating, feminine without being frivolous, kind without being weak, beautiful without apologizing for it, ambitious without chasing validation, and deeply confident without ever needing to announce it. The world always has opinions about who you should be, but the women who leave a lasting impression are rarely the ones who fit in. They're the ones with the courage to remain unmistakably themselves. Elle Woods didn't just earn a law degree. She taught an entire generation of women that authenticity is one of the most powerful forms of confidence, and that lesson will never go out of style. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents. Thanks so much for watching.